Howdy. Howdy. Mildly weak. How are we doing?
Good. Great.
Fresh? A little bit? I hope so, yeah. You're back. Here we go again. Shit sucks. Awesome. Glad you're here at 8 in the morning. Okay. 381, we're in the right class. We're sure. Everybody found us. Thank God. There's probably one or two wandering around campus. No idea where class is. Okay. For those of you who haven't had me before, my name is Dr. Payne, which sounds awesome. Okay. One of my favorite quotes: "Listen to understand, not to respond." Hard thing for you to do, trained otherwise in the Corps, but something to keep in mind for this class. All right. Who am I? Love barbecue. Barbecued this weekend, watching a football game. I like to brew beer when I have time. And that goes pretty well with athletics. All those together, it makes for a nice day. Okay. I like to build things too. Play a little guitar. Do a lot of things. I say when I have time because Daddy is raising world champions. Daddy wants a gold medal so that he can retire early. Okay. My kiddos are gymnasts amongst other things. My oldest actually won that meet and got a cowboy hat, which I thought was badass. Am I qualified to instruct this course? Most of you just go to class. Somebody at the front of the classroom starts talking. You're like, I guess they're in charge. You should probably determine if they're qualified to teach the course that you're in or not. Ask them, why are you teaching? If you want, you don't have to. I got my undergrad degree at Oregon State University. Best baseball team in the country. 3 national championships, last one 2018. How many of the Aggies had? Your assistant coach you hired, Nate Yeske, came from Oregon State. He's a good dude. Maybe you'll get it done. I got my master's at Florida, and I did get my PhD here at A&M, so I do have a ring, and you guys don't look at me like I'm a total foreigner anymore. I've been teaching full-time for, I think this is year 4. I've been teaching these classes in the Corps for, I think, 6 years now. Okay. Before that, I worked for the Extension Service full-time, which belongs to A&M. Does anybody know what Extension is? Tramp, what's Extension?
It's like they do a lot of services for 4-H and FFA across the state.
Yeah, if you're anybody in 4-H, that belongs to Extension. Every state has a land-grant university. A&M is the land-grant. The goal is to take research from campus out to the community. That's what Extension does. It's rooted in agriculture. Okay. Any engineers? There's TEACs, similar concept, okay? Before that, I did development. I did fundraising for universities, which is why I moved around to other different universities. And I had various jobs in the private sector when I graduated school. I get into new to the resume is I am an elected official. I ran for school board here in College Station in November and got elected to that. I also serve part-time in the Air Force. I'm in the Air National Guard. We do counter-drug operations. Watching y'all, okay? So I wear a lot of hats, okay? All of that lends me to teaching this course. This class is interactive, right? I expect you to participate, right? Okay? How many of you go to class and the professor's like, I don't like to lecture all the time, and that's all they do? So kiss of death. If you ever hear a professor say that and all he does is lecture, call him on it. Hey man, remember first day? Said you weren't gonna do that? We'll see. It's really boring if I talk all the time. Okay, so if I ask questions, I'll just sit here and wait. Right? Fortunately, Ryan's in here, and he'll probably have something to say. Okay. As I was getting ready to present, is there an Ag Eco major in here? I have one in my other class. I was getting ready to present to a bunch of Ag Eco professors, and one of them is actually like a big deal. He goes to D.C. and he works on the Farm Bill. And I was getting ready to present, and he leans forward and he goes, "Hey, try not to suck." Thanks, buddy. Okay, so I try not to suck. All right, come to class. Critical, right, to discussion assignments. Think for yourself. We only meet for 50 minutes a week. All right, I get less than an hour a week to change your lives, and I will change your lives. All right. Justin's not sure. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Okay. So we live in Canvas. It's a little better than eCampus, maybe. I think you guys like it better. So we'll live in Canvas outside of the classroom. Right. Participate, be original, be outspoken, be thoughtful. Do not have your phones out unless we're using them for the class, okay? It's a waste of time. You can't multitask. Contact info is on the syllabus. We'll touch on that. I'm here pretty much all day Tuesday. If you need me, I got back-to-back classes, 2 sections of 381. So if I ever get confused, by all means call me on it. Be like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. That's because I forgot what I said in one class compared to another class. Okay. My cell phone is on the syllabus. Okay. If you guys have a question, you can by all means text me. I don't care. If it's late at night and you're working on homework at the last minute, my old ass is asleep. Okay. So I may or may not respond, but if it's a quick question, I'll try to get back to you. Email works just fine too. If you text me, for the love of God, tell me who you are and what class this is. Okay. I also teach at Sam Houston State. I teach multiple classes here. I teach way too many classes. Okay. But I love what I do, so it's just a matter of keeping you all straight. All right. If you see me at the Chicken, come up, say hi. I'll buy you a beer. Okay, quickly, we'll jump to the most boring thing ever. Nobody cares. Syllabus. Here's where we are. Contact info. You did the other things. You can read all this. Okay. You do have to get the book. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm going to keep a distance. And hopefully I don't always sound like crap. You have to get the book. You have to get the book. You have to get the book. Okay? It's cheap. There's paperback. I don't know if there's an online version, a PDF or whatever. You can look. But I think it's like 10 or 12 bucks for the book, but you do have to buy it. Okay? We will use it extensively in the course, right? Other stuff. Oh, sorry. I tried to take out eCampus and put in Canvas, but I missed some of them. No, that's crap you don't care about. Okay. Here's what you do need to know. Grading. Assignments, case studies, all that stuff, class participation, Canvas, and final LDP. LDP is different this semester. They may not have 380. Everybody had SOMS for? Okay, just checking. As you'll see, class participation is a quarter of your grade. You've got to be here. Okay. Not only you have to be here, you have to participate. Excuse me. That says I can do whatever I want, which is awesome. Okay. Attendance. Excuse me. Other thing you need to know. You get 1 unexcused absence all semester. 1 get out of jail free card. That's it. Okay. After that, it starts to hurt your grade. 2 unexcused absences is 5% off your grade. 3 is 10%. If you have 4 unexcused absences, you automatically fail the course. No matter what. I don't care if you did all the work, anything like that. If you have 4 unexcused absences, we only meet like 15 times. Okay? So that's a lot. It rarely happens, but it does happen. You got to be here. Okay? So just communicate with me. You got COVID, you get quarantine, you know, family's sick, whatever. I get it. Just communicate with me. Okay? We'll try to work it out. The reason I film class is to help you guys out. I used to post stuff on YouTube. I honestly don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I can post it just in Canvas for you guys, because I'm pretty sure the shit we talk about in class is going to get me fired one day. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep posting things on YouTube. I'm undecided on that, as we talk about serious stuff in here. Okay, questions on that? If it's excused, you make it up. Okay, which is why I post videos. I have you write up a summary of what we discussed in class. Okay, which we'll get into. There's other rules. There's a rubric for your class participation. Okay, other thing that really matters. 0 credit hour. Does everybody know what this is? It defaults to 0 credit for this class. If you want to take it for 1 or 0 credits, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's for you guys, how it factors in for like financial aid or whatever. It does not matter. It does not change grading. If you think, oh, I'll take it for 0 credit and I'll just pass fail, you still have to get a grade, and you have to get a C or better to pass. A D or an F, and you're out of the core. Okay? You have until add drop to change that. You go into Howdy, you change it yourself. It is straightforward and easy. I'll probably send out reminders, but you might make a note. If you want to change it and take it for a credit, you have until Monday to do it. That's add drop, right? Yeah, Monday. Sorry. Questions on that? Everything else is boring and lame, and you can go read it. Questions on syllabus? Okay. Dialogue in the classroom. This class is awesome. Okay, one, because I'm awesome and humble, right? Anyway, only the new guys laugh. Same old jokes, right? Okay, good. Boring. Okay. This class is fun for a number of reasons. We redid this class, all right? We changed how we do it. When we added 281 to the Hollingsworth Center, we got some more room to work with you guys because I think your SOMS classes before you came to the Hollingsworth Center were not great. Okay? So this class we redid. We picked out a new book that we thought would be most beneficial to students. The feedback last spring was the first time we changed it, and the feedback from cadets was positive. They liked the book. I know you guys don't read, but they like the class and everything. So it's a lot more fun. We'll have serious conversations. We'll talk about serious subjects, but I try to make it as fun and engaging as possible. For every hour of class you have, how many hours are you supposed to study? 2, 3, 1 to 3? You gonna do that for SOMS? Telling the truth, my man. I worked very hard not to overwhelm you. I know this is a 1-credit class that you have to take. Do I ask too much? Do I ask too much? My class hard? No, it's really not. Just be here, okay? Get your stuff done. If you have questions, please let me know. Okay. We'll try to do minimum. Remember in class, you ever see somebody like passing out paper and they lick their thumb when they're passing it? It's nasty, right? Just put COVID all over it. You guys please take a card and answer these questions. That would be great. Good enough. You can just leave them on your desk when you're done. I can't put music on if you get sick. Got enough? Please write legibly. There we go. Cool. If you've been to a whole bunch of states, you can just guess. see you with the chicken? I saw a bunch of cadets here last week. Wasn't you?
I wasn't at the chicken.
Okay.
I was too tired.
Good. You can keep working. Just leave them on your desk. I'll grab them here at the end. There's you guys. Put them in the core. It's really hard. Now, one day, you, believe it or not, one day Trent, you're going to be like, God, I wish all I had to do was go to school. Trent doesn't believe me. But one day, he's going to be like, oh, it's the best time of my life. You're like, no, I just want to get a job, make money. No, never leave. Stay here as long as you can. A couple more football seasons, maybe. Gotta win that natty. We'll see. Here's you guys. On your way. Can't wait to get those boots, right? You get them this semester. Then what happens? You wear them for 9 months. Like, it's all downhill after this. You don't believe me? One day, 5 or 10 years from now. God, I wish I was back in school. That weird guy was right. What'd you learn in SOMS? Not all at once, one at a time.
Don't haze.
Huh?
Don't haze.
Don't haze?
Yeah.
You've been learning that for not here.
Our personal strengths and weaknesses.
Look at you, strengths and weaknesses, my man. What else?
Leadership styles.
Leadership styles. Okay, good. What else? What you got?
Why we suck.
Why you suck? Yes. That's what happens when I'm your instructor. What else?
Like those different personality things.
Yeah, very good. Anybody, did you guys all do Clifton strengths? You got your top 5 strengths? Okay, ring a bell, maybe. I think you guys do Myers-Briggs, freshman or sophomore year. If you had me, I had you do the grit scale. Right? What else? That's it?
The different constraints.
Yep, good. Your different constraints? All right, good. Did you do a resume? 281? No? Did you have 281?
I know I have
Did you take 281 though? Okay. We think we took a class. Okay. Did anyone else not do a resume?
We did.
You guys didn't? Okay. Everyone should have in 281, but I learned last semester not everyone did. So you guys aren't alone. It's throwing me off because it should have been covered. Okay. Constraints we touched on. Okay. Do you have the ability to change? Yeah. Do you want to? You're gonna love this semester. Okay. Well, we'll see. All right. What will we learn here? Responsibilities as executive leaders? Yeah. Importance of establishing a positive work environment of trust and accountability? Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Importance of developing organizational staff members? Yeah. Problem-solving techniques? Yes. Here we go. We're going to mostly get into your own willpower, which is super fascinating and interesting because most of you think you got it figured out. We'll find out. Okay? Do you have a definition of leadership? Anybody? What does the core make? Does it?
Managers.
Huh?
Managers.
Managers? Okay. What else? Does anybody have their own definition of leadership?
He who leads.
Everybody's had me before. I asked you this the first day of class. Multiple semesters in a row now. Still don't have one? Failures. All of you. Okay? You should. Now, most of you will say something like textbook answer. Trying to get people to accomplish a common goal or some bullshit like that. Right? By the way, I swear in class, if that bothers you, and I'm 100% serious, if that bothers you, please let me know. I will turn it off. Okay? I don't hold back. I treat you guys like adults. Okay? But you can shoot me an email or whatever. Please don't do that, and I will stop. I've never heard Dr. Keller say a bad word, so not every instructor is like me, but I don't really hold back. Okay. Most of you guys have pretty lame answers with this. You should give it some thought, especially if you're going to take me again. Leadership is manipulation. True or false?
Yes.
True or false? True?
True.
True? 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 Why?
You're trying to like get people to do something that I guess I don't know if you want them to do or if you're trying to coerce them into accomplishing a goal. So you're manipulating them to do that. I think the word manipulation has a bad context.
Why?
Or connotation.
Why?
I think like the term manipulate, a lot of people would take that as like trying to get them to do your will for like bad reasons a lot of the time.
Okay. Who else? I'll take it.
Yeah, I would agree, but I would think that it's part of it because you are sometimes usually you are in a group setting, so it's everyone's goal. Like maybe you're working on a class project, for example. So everyone wants to finish the class project, but maybe no one is really organized enough. So you need a leader to take charge and to kind of control the group and to make sure that like maybe if it's a really interactive project, they need to make sure that no one's like overstepping like boundaries or like getting off topic and stuff like that. So
Does everybody want to finish the group project?
what?
Does everybody want to finish the group project?
Most usually.
Who's been in shitty group projects?
The night before
Every
it's
single one.
due, that's when everyone wants to, because they realize it's great.
Yeah. Okay. Back to what James said. Who has a problem with the word manipulation? Who doesn't like that? Alex, why?
Because usually that means you're getting someone to do something against their will, and if you're leading them, it's probably their goal as well.
It is their goal?
You're probably going towards a common goal. It's not necessarily going to be directly against their will. All of them.
Okay, so if you're trying to get underclassmen to do something, do they want to do it?
Usually, or if they don't want to do it, they know they should.
Right. So knowing they should versus wanting to do it are two different things, right? Okay. What do you got, Kaylin?
I mean, leadership doesn't necessarily, like what you have up there, that doesn't necessarily mean manipulating people, but like leadership could be like manipulating the way that you talk and the way that you treat or act around other people so that they're more inclined to achieve a common goal. Like you're not necessarily manipulating their actions, but you're manipulating yourself in a way that they want to follow or they, maybe want to be more open to what you have to say versus if you, weren't more cautious about trying to convince them to do something. So it doesn't have to have a negative connotation, but it usually does.
Okay. You said you can manipulate yourself to get them to do it, right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's a weird way to say it, but
So you can adjust, right? Who's had a shitty leader before? Everybody, right? Usually they are. Do you want to do stuff for them? Why not?
I mean, if you don't like somebody or you don't like their principles, it's kind of hard to motivate yourself to follow them.
Bingo. Okay, right? Good. I'll take it. Who does not like manual labor? Who does not like manual labor? It's okay. Most of you don't. Who does not like manual labor? No? You don't want to do it? Huh? 50-50? Okay. If I tell you, go dig a ditch, what are you going to do?
I'll probably do it.
You probably would?
Yeah.
Why?
Sounds like a fun idea.
Like getting paid.
I think it's fun like Saturday.
Huh?
On the first ditch I dig. If you ask me to dig more, I'd say no.
Okay. All right, so you dig one but not two. Who's not digging the ditch?
That's too far.
Like getting paid.
If I tell you to go dig a ditch, you doing it? No. Why not?
Well, I don't know why you want me to think of it.
Okay, so you're hung up on why. Got a cross on because divinity. That's why. Maybe. Even then, God wants you to, not convinced. Okay? All of you want to know why. If I say, okay, go dig a ditch. Some of you maybe. Most of you are probably not. Right? If I say, if you go dig that ditch, that village over there will have running water for the first time ever. You'll be a hero to them. It'll mean a lot and change their lives. You going to do it? Now you're good? Did I manipulate you?
Yeah.
Why?
Technically don't know still, right? Like,
I just told you why.
you could have just, but there's no village.
No, but there is a village.
Okay.
Real context. There's a village. You can see it.
Yes.
But did I manipulate you?
Yeah.
Why?
Inspiration is still manipulation.
Is it?
I mean, we associate manipulation with a negative word, like other James was saying, but it's still the same thing.
Okay, so I manipulated him, but in a positive way?
Yeah.
Okay, so is leadership manipulation? Is it motivation? Who just doesn't like the word manipulation?
I think most people.
Yeah. Is it wrong? What do we think? Is leadership manipulation?
I think whenever someone manipulates someone else, it is kind of a form of leadership, but I don't, like, it really depends how you define manipulation. Because if it's just influencing someone else, then just by definition that is leadership already. But manipulation, like he was saying, has a negative connotation. So, but it's still leadership, technically.
Okay. All of you wanted to know why, didn't you? That's everyone ever now. This is a generational thing.
You work with drugs. You tell me to dig a ditch. I don't know. Not my job.
Counter drugs. Good.
Same.
Most of you want to know why. How many of you, when you were underclassmen, right? And they upperclassmen told you to do something, right? And you were like, why? In your head, you were like, why? Right? You didn't want to do it, okay? And you didn't get the why. So did you do a good job?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Maybe. Right? What's in it for me? Right? Okay. Everybody wants to know why. So what happens if you don't tell them? What happens if you don't tell them? Does it get done?
Probably not to a full extent.
Maybe, maybe not, right? Or it gets done in a half-assed manner. How many of you told underclassmen to do stuff and they did a shitty job? Whose fault is that? Yours. No, always theirs. They're underclassmen. Turds, right? Yeah, it's your fault. Why?
Because they didn't know, like, the full story behind it.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, good. I'll take it. True or false? Old Army is dead.
True.
Just one true? Who else is true?
True.
Anybody got false? Justin. Okay, why?
It's still alive in some of the special units.
Only the special units?
But yeah, like RV,
That's our secret.
SEAL platoon, like they've got old army, FDT.
When did Old Army die? For all you trues.
We moved out of tent.
You remember? One of my favorite answers is year 2. When else?
It just, it didn't really like die at once, it just slowly was phased out.
Slowly got stripped away.
Right before you got here, right? It's my other favorite answer.
Huh?
Huh?
That's what they tell us.
Right before you got here? Yeah, that's what everybody says. Okay. I still like year 2. That's my favorite answer. So-
History is a long list of defeats.
Is Old Army dead?
Yes.
Dead.
Shaking your head. You're not sure or you think no?
Nah, my dad always says Old Army dies every year.
Sure it does. Is it still alive though?
If it dies every year, it has to.
Exactly right. If it's still dying, it's still alive. You still have to whip out. Still have PT, still have old lady, still eat shitty food at Dunkin'. Still have,
Upset at people whipping out last semester. So, I mean,
Let's go to
every time. Every time. Okay? But what are you guys doing about it? You still whip out? You damn right. Okay? It's still a whole habit. Why? Because you guys are like raptors testing the fence for weakness. Okay? All the time. Right? Trying to see if you can get away with it. Fair enough. Okay? Can you assess yourself accurately?
No, 50-50.
No, why not, James?
I don't know. Self-evaluation is difficult just because like you're obviously gonna be biased.
Yes, you are. Okay. What'd you say? 50-50? Why? What do you got?
Well, other people, you are biased naturally, but at the same time, you know some more things about yourself than other people do.
Yeah,
So
you know when
it's a 50-50.
you know when you screw up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know when you screwed up.
Most of the times. Then
Right.
there are times, I just end up
Sometimes you don't know, right?
shower PT and I don't know what's going on.
Having you in class is terrifying. Should you question leadership? Why?
Just because somebody's a leader doesn't mean they're necessarily moving down the right path.
Okay, good. I'll take it. What else?
It's just like you said at the start of class, checking if your professor is qualified to teach the class. You see if your leader is qualified to lead you.
I would ask for their CV. What do you got?
In a group scenario, everyone's accountable, not just followers of the leader.
Yeah, I would take that. Okay. What else? Who thinks you should not? Does anybody think you should not question leadership?
I mean, it's kind of 50-50 because really if you question the person that's at the top and leading you, you're not going to do as well as you would if you had faith in their plan or what they were doing. So it kind of,
Can you have faith in their plan and still question it?
I don't think you can.
Why?
Because if I doubt your abilities, so let's use you as an example. If I doubt your abilities as a teacher, I'm not going to take what you're saying and talking about, like, I assume we're going to be talking about life skills. If I doubt your abilities as a teacher, I'm not going to think about, like, what you're saying as, like, life skills and important later in life as really 100%. But if I have faith in your abilities as a teacher, I'm more likely to be reciprocative or like taking your ideas and maybe use it a bit more.
So how do you assess that? Because you don't know me.
Well, I mean, I'm taking this class and someone told me that it's fun.
Who?
Her, so
Kiss ass. What'd she say?
she said, I really want to take this class. You should take it with me. And I was like, okay.
It's just the class, not me.
Well, it was because of you. So.
Goddamn right. But to your point, okay, so you have to figure that out. How do you do that?
I feel like that's difficult and it
Yeah.
varies from situation to situation. Because if it's like a situation where,
It depends.
let's say, since the majority of us aren't really going into the military, I assume, like we get into
Bless
a
you.
new company and it's like a successful Fortune 500 company. Well, if we're in that Fortune 500 company, then we assume that the person at the top is doing the right thing, or else they wouldn't be a Fortune 500 company.
How many times do you see CEOs of Fortune 500 companies get in trouble for doing something wrong?
I mean, that's the price of being in the Fortune 500.
How long does a company usually in the Fortune 500? Do you know? About 30 years, if they're lucky. It's not very long. It constantly turns over. It's not stagnant. Ryan, what'd you have?
I think that you should, there's a time to question them, but it eventually, if they're a good leader, it should be exchanged for trust to the point where sometimes a leader might have to ask you something where you shouldn't question, but if there's a foundation there, I think that's acceptable. There's a time and a place where I think both matter.
Okay, I'll take that. If they're a good leader, someone you trust, like, look up to, whatever, someone that's built up that foundation, like you said, are they always a good leader, or do they make mistakes?
They do make mistakes.
They can make mistakes, right? So should you question it? What do you got, Caitlin?
There's also a difference in questioning somebody and like disrespecting somebody. Like, yes, you should question leadership. That doesn't mean you do it in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, I'll fully take the time and the place.
Yeah, it's like if someone does something that might be not exactly ethical or you think could have like negative effects later on down the road, all it takes is a mature conversation like, hey, I think maybe we should go about this way instead. That's questioning their leadership, but that's also not disrespecting their leadership. So like I think there's a middle ground to be reached. But you should
Can be,
always-
hopefully. Hopefully.
You shouldn't ever just blindly follow somebody because they have a title.
Correct.
You have no idea how they achieved that.
1,000% correct. Yes. Okay. Rank and title, do they mean anything? Not really. CEO of a company? Maybe. Sometimes they just get lucky. right? Or their dad was in charge. Okay. Doesn't mean they're a great CEO, okay? So, everyone's favorite answer, it depends. Are you a good leader? No? Why not?
In most situations, I'm not. I'm not a very good corporate leader, or I can't plug in little computer things and be like, we need someone.
Okay,
to
how do you know?
spreadsheets.
How do you know?
'Cause I've done it.
Okay, just not very good at it?
Never ends well.
Okay, good. Who else? How do you know if you're a good leader or not?
I mean, that depends on your own definition of leadership, so.
Yeah, it does, but you guys don't have one. You don't. I just asked you already. You don't even have your own definition. So how do you know?
And some people use like examples of other people and are like maybe you have an older sibling that you look up to as
Okay,
a leader.
how do you know if you're a good leader or not?
Self-reflection and peer evaluation.
Is that what you do? I'm asking you. Yeah, you're just speaking in generalities, which sounds great. Okay? Do you actually sit down with peers and say, am I a good leader?
When the SOMS class asked me to last year,
Only when mandated. Awesome.
You will have fun.
Great example. Yeah, mandatory fun. We call that voluntold in the military. Okay? So, if we're working on it, if you're trying, if you're in this living lab that is the Corps trying to figure it out, okay, how do you develop that leadership style? How did you do it? You spent 18 years on this planet before you even got here in the Corps. How do you develop your leadership style?
Trial and error.
Trial and error is good. Okay, what'd you do, Alex?
Tried leading people. A lot of times messed up and then figured out a better way to do it.
Did you whip out last semester as an example? Was that you? It didn't go well, did it?
Not very well.
Why not?
Because are you talking about the big whip out part of the thing?
No, I thought you wrote about doing it like you were trying to show underclassmen how to do it,
Oh.
and you forgot.
Oh yeah, during FOW.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Very poorly.
Why?
Because
Tell everybody what happened.
yeah, it was during FOW. We were teaching the fish how to whip out, and so we needed somebody to demonstrate. And so our XO was like, "Partita, come whip out to me." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that." I totally remember how to whip out his fish. I go and just completely blank in front of all the fish. That was not very good. So yeah,
What'd you learn about yourself there?
that I don't know everything I think I know.
Most of us aren't very good at that, especially your age. God bless you. I was just like you guys. Right? I had it all figured out. Sadly, unfortunately, right, you guys don't know shit. Right? About so many things. I'm 43. I don't know shit. There's so much I don't know. Okay? Some of you know way more about topics than I do. And it's awesome. But everybody has something they can teach you. And not everybody has it all together. All right? So it's pretty interesting. All right, quickly, because we touched on it. If you've had me before, we've done this. But quick review. All right. Yeah, you guys will really like my presentations. Okay. Here's how your brain works. Okay, you have instinctive and associative brain systems. If you touch ice, you know it's cold. You see fire, you know it's hot. You can pick your mom out of a crowd, a cow field. All right. That's your instinctive system. It's quick. It's easy. All right. It's a lot harder. What's 15 times 15? Oh, fuck. Yeah, exactly. No idea. Anybody got it? There you go. Big gang. Got it. All right. So sometimes it takes you a minute, right? Can you figure it out?
Probably.
James will get there eventually. Engineering major?
Pretension error.
Yeah,
Engineering
see,
technology.
exactly right. So you can't hack it, right? Couldn't do it. Okay. But that's okay. We'll figure it out, right? But it takes you a minute. The problem is we make decisions, hard ethical decisions, with our instinctive system. We'll make rash decisions, okay, based on emotion, which is a terrible way to do it, instead of thinking about it. You ever been, case in point, you ever been arguing with somebody? Like in person, over text, whatever, you disagree. All right, pick something. Who's a better quarterback? Whatever, I don't care, okay? You're arguing about something, and then they make a really good point. Do you ever stop and be like, oh, that's an excellent point you made. I will have to reconsider my decision. Does anybody do that? No, you don't. You say, ah, you're stupid. Right? You say stupid shit right over the top of them. Okay? It's really dumb, right, that we do that instead of like actually being able to take it in. Okay? Our brains are very lazy. All right? We are irrational. We make decisions based on emotions, not objective data. If you do not believe me, date somebody. Male, female, I don't care. Right? We make dumb, irrational decisions. You ever have a buddy dating somebody and it's a bad mix and you can see it and they don't see it? Right? You ever tell them, dude, you can't be with that person. And they don't. You looking at him? That's hilarious. Okay? Now, if you are not sure you've been in that group, guess what? You are that person. Okay? And you didn't know. Now you know. Okay? But it's hard. All right? It's a systemic error. Our brain takes a shortcut. All right? Anchoring bias. First piece of data we get. That's what we go off of. Okay? Remember before this was judges are actually really good at being fair and rational for the most part, really. They took these judges and they gave them some dice, like 12-sided die, and they were loaded. They'd roll the dice, it'd come up like 10, 11, 12 every time. Okay? Roll the dice, see the number. Then they would give them somebody who's already been convicted to assign a sentence. Here's the case, here's what they did. What happened to those sentences for those judges who rolled that dice? Anybody remember?
What is that?
Their sentences were longer. Simply because they rolled a dice and saw a higher number. Had nothing to do with the crime. Right? We are not good at things. By the way, all of us have these things. Automation bias. Anybody want to be a pilot? Choose you one. Okay. A few years ago, there were pilots. I think they were flying to Minneapolis from like New York or somewhere. They flew like 2 hours past Minneapolis. They had it on autopilot. You're talking about not only connecting flights, but the safety of fuel, right? Everything. They're just up there bullshitting and completely missed their destination by hours. They were fired. Okay? That's what happens when you rely on automation too much. Okay? Availability. We give more credence to the information we're already aware of. This goes back to the argument. If you're talking about something or disagree or whatever, and you hear something that's similar to what you already know, you are more likely to agree with it. Conversely, if you've never heard of it, you're like, nah, I don't believe you. Whether it's true or not, you don't believe it, okay? Bandwagon effect. We believe something to be true if others around us believe it to be true. Conversely, if those of us think it's not true, we won't believe it, okay? Basically go with the group. Anybody know what groupthink is? Any Maze majors? Anybody in business? No? Who said yes? You're in Maze? What's your major?
Marketing.
Okay. What's groupthink? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of like where you like everyone has like the same common type of thinking, and everyone like even if you don't agree with it, you're still going to go with what the group thinks, so you don't stand out.
Yeah, bingo. You ever been working on a group project in class? And everyone's like, oh yeah, we got a good plan, and we're going, everything's great. And you're halfway into the project, and you're like, this is not good. This is terrible. Did any of you say anything? Sometimes, I hope, most of you are like, nah, we'll just keep doing this shitty, slow train wreck to the end, where it all goes downhill, okay? Groupthink is, yeah, we all think alike, and it leads to rational decisions, especially when you're the new person at your job. You guys are about to be the FNG, fun new guy, doesn't stand for fun. You'll be the new person there, and you'll be afraid to speak up, okay? Don't do that. Base rate, we tend to ignore, oh, this is Amazon. You ever been on Amazon about to buy something, okay, and you go look at the reviews, and there's 5,000 reviews, right, and it's like 4.5 stars. Pretty good product, right? And you'll see one bad review, you're like,
Broken.
not getting it, not getting it. Why? You're just using that one negative review to justify that you don't want to spend the money or whatever it is, okay? You take you ignore the 5,000 people who said it was good, and you found one bad review. You're like, what a piece of shit, I don't need it, okay? We do all these. We look for patterns, okay? Excuse me. That's why I like when we see geometric shapes and clouds and stuff like that, okay? Confirmation bias, particularly true of political views and opinions. The unconscious act of referencing those perspectives that fuel our pre-existing views. If you're a conservative, watch CNN. If you're liberal, watch Fox News. See how long you can go. It's like riding a bull. Like 10 minutes in, you're just going to start shaking, yelling at the TV. Okay? It's okay. can have different views and perspectives, right? But we tend to look for the ones that just confirm what we already believe. Curse of knowledge. Damn it, I'm so smart. Okay? That's kind of what this is, right? But not really, okay? You ever been studying with somebody and you're trying to help them understand something and they don't get it? Or you're the one that doesn't get it? Okay, right? Once you truly learn something, it's hard to remember that other people don't know that, right? None of you knew how to tie your shoes when you were little, right? Now you do it without even thinking, okay? That's what curse of knowledge is. Once you truly learn it, you don't understand that people don't know what that is, okay? Hindsight bias is similar, right? Anybody ever been like, I should have seen it coming? Anybody gamble in here? Anybody bet? No, just, oh, good. I got some other degenerates with me, okay? You ever bet on a game or something like that? And you're like, oh, I totally should have seen that coming. No, you didn't know. There's a million variables. There's no way the Aggies were going to beat Alabama. But they did, okay? We're about done. Anybody play baseball or softball? What position?
Left field and first base.
Okay. You know when a catcher would catch a ball and they would try to make it look like a strike? That's the framing effect, okay? What you're doing is taking information and trying to make it look like something else, okay? But we all have different we all get the same information, we just look at it differently. Oh, this is a good one. Gambler's fallacy. Future probabilities are altered by past events. Let's say game day is here, and we're going to play Alabama before this season. And they're like, Alabama's won 5 of the last 6 times they played A&M, and it was by an average of 30 points. Does that have anything to do with the next game? No, absolutely not. Different players, different coaches, all the different variables that go in. It doesn't matter, all right? Flipping a coin. You ever flipped a coin and been shocked? Heads, holy shit. Never saw it coming. It's 50-50, right? Actually, if a person does it, it's 51-49 because you will influence it, right? If Justin's calling it and I don't like Justin, I might see where it lands and flip it over, okay? If a machine does it, it's 50-50, all right? It's like, people have gender reveals for kids. It's a boy or a girl, bro. I hate to tell you. It's one or the other, right? A boy, holy shit. If you had a lizard, now I'll be shocked, okay? But it's 50-50, all right? I don't want to go over them. But my point is, we all have these own biases inside of us, okay? Most of them we are not aware of, right? We're going to dig into how these affect what you guys do all semester, okay? We will get into your own brains a little bit and hopefully have a little fun. Go get the book, okay? You got to get the book ASAP. Cool? Just leave those cards on your table. That'll count for your attendance today. Have a great day.